Among the timeless teachings of the Dhammapada, one virtue shines as a key to lasting peace: equanimity. The Dhammapada gently reminds us, just as a solid rock is not moved by the wind, the wise remain steady in the face of praise or blame. Equanimity is the quiet, steady calm that does not depend on what happens around us. It is the ability to stay centered when life is going well and when life is falling apart. It is learning to walk through life with balance, without being swept away by waves of emotion. In daily life, we tend to react. When something feels good, we chase after more. When something feels unpleasant, we try to push it away. When people praise us, we feel lifted. When people criticize us, we feel crushed. Our hearts ride a constant emotional roller coaster, up and down, over and over. Equanimity invites us to step off that ride. It teaches us to observe life with calm awareness, without clinging to the highs or resisting the lows. But how do we actually cultivate equanimity in everyday life? It begins with a deep understanding. Everything changes. Joy changes. Sadness changes. Success changes. Failure changes. Praise changes. Criticism changes. Nothing stays forever. The Dhammapada reminds us, all that arises will pass away. The one who understands this finds peace. When we truly understand that nothing is permanent, we can begin to let go. We can stop trying to control everything. We can start trusting the natural flow of life. Equanimity does not mean being cold or indifferent. It does not ask us to suppress our emotions or become numb. On the contrary, equanimity allows us to feel fully, without being trapped by what we feel. When joy arrives, we can enjoy it, knowing it is a beautiful moment that will pass. When pain arrives, we can hold it with patience, knowing it too will pass. The Dhammapada says, "Sweet words or harsh words do not disturb the wise. Their hearts remain peaceful, like a calm lake." Equanimity is the quiet strength that allows us to welcome both joy and difficulty with the same steady heart. It is learning not to be carried away by happiness or crushed by sadness. It is finding a place of balance where we can breathe in peace, no matter what life brings. In everyday life, equanimity shows up in small, simple ways. When someone praises you, you can smile, you can be grateful, but you don't need to cling to that praise as if it defines you. When someone criticizes you, you can listen openly, but you don't have to let those words destroy your peace. Equanimity teaches us that we are not what others say about us. We are not what we have or what we lose. We are something deeper than passing circumstances. The Dhammapada reminds us, just as the lotus remains unstained by muddy water, the wise remain clear in the midst of desire and fear. Equanimity is like the lotus that rises pure above the mud. It is staying centered, even when life surrounds us with noise, pressure, or confusion. But this steady balance doesn't happen overnight. It's a daily practice, a gentle, patient journey. It starts by noticing our own reactions. When we feel disturbed, we can pause and ask, am I reacting from calm awareness or from impulse? Am I moving from balance or from emotional urgency? We can learn to pause, to breathe before speaking, to release before grasping, to accept before resisting. Equanimity does not mean we don't feel. It means we learn to feel with clarity. When we are happy, we can fully enjoy the moment, without holding on to it as if it will last forever. When we are sad, we can allow ourselves to feel, without believing that sadness will stay forever. The Dhammapada says, "The wise are not shaken by gain or loss. They remain peaceful in abundance and in scarcity." Life is always moving. Sometimes we win. Sometimes we lose. Sometimes we rise. Sometimes we fall. But we can learn to walk through all of it with steady hearts. Equanimity is like a tree with deep roots. The wind may blow, the leaves may shake, but the tree stands firm. This quiet stability gives us real freedom. We don't need everything to go our way to feel at peace. We can live with openness, with trust, with acceptance. Equanimity also helps us see the emotions of others with clarity. When someone responds with anger, we can remember that they may be trapped in their own inner storms. We can choose not to respond with more anger. We can choose not to add fuel to the fire. The Dhammapada teaches, those who cultivate patience and equanimity are like a lake without waves, where the mind can rest. Equanimity allows us to become that peaceful lake, a calm space where others can also feel safe and supported. We can bring this balance into our relationships, into our work, into the choices we make each day. We can act from peace, not from fear. We can choose with calm, not from urgency. Equanimity is not giving up. It is conscious acceptance. It is knowing what is beyond our control and choosing to respond with wisdom and steadiness. Today, I invite you to practice equanimity in life's small moments. When something excites you, pause, breathe. When something frustrates you, pause, breathe. When life pushes you to rush, pause, breathe. Remember, everything passes. What matters is not controlling every detail. It's learning to stay peaceful in the middle of change. May these teachings from the Dhammapada stay with you. May you find in equanimity a safe, steady refuge. May you discover, through this balance, the quiet freedom of a heart that no longer needs to fight against life to be at peace.